Hello everyone, so I thought I'd do a walk around video for the listing as well, because obviously you can only put so many pictures on, so a walk around video gives you a better idea of the car. So here she is. This is my 1981 Mk5 Cortina, or Cortina 80, on an X-Reg, finished in Ford's crystal green metallic. The car is totally original with no modifications at all, just as it left the factory in 1981. The car is unrestored. It was just used as a car by the first owner for many years, kept in a garage and looked after, so consequently it's lasted exceptionally well. It's still got the original dealer plates front and back, buses of Norwich. You can see it's lovely and straight down the sides and the back. As I said, this car has not been restored, so there are a few age related marks which you can certainly expect of a car that's just nearly 46 years old. Obviously it's survived exceptionally well. You can see how straight it is. As I say, there's a few small marks here and there, but there's nothing really to detract from the overall beautiful condition of the car. You can see down the bottoms of the doors, the gaps are all absolutely spot on. There's no corrosion or rust in these doors. Along the bottoms where they normally go, and it's the same story all the way round. They're absolutely rust free. The doors, the rear door shuts, again, no rust, no bubbling. Doors shut beautifully. The wheel arches, they're all beautiful, all crisp and fresh around the outside. There's no filler, no blistering, no lifting. You can still see all of the spot welds all the way around, and that's the same on both sides. You can see they're all original. They haven't been mucked around with, filled or repaired. Again, you can see how straight everything is on this side, how good the gaps are. Often you'll see Cortinas for sale and they've had dodgy repairs to the door bottoms and the sills, and nothing along the bottom edge lines up, but this is still wearing the original sills, which are rock solid, and the lip is very nice all the way across the bottom edge. It's all nice and crisp. You can see all of the spot welds, all of the jacking points on the back, on the inner sills are all original. There's never been welded in there. I've jet washed some of the arch out, and you can see it's got the original factory finish. It's not been plastered in under seal. Again, the door shut area has no rust, no bubbling, no filler, no nasty repairs. Just like with the doors as well, as I mentioned, they're all excellent, and the doors shut lovely. So you can see she's really straight and original. All the light lenses are lovely and bright. All the original badges. All the original chrome work on the bumpers is all excellent. There's no pitting. Still got all the original Ford lights all the way around. The badge is in excellent condition on the front. You can see how honest this car is. As I say, it's not without fault. You can improve it a little bit. There's a small blister just there on the bottom of the valance, but that's nothing to worry about, and it's such an easy place to get to repair, so I wouldn't even stress over that bit at the moment. You can see the original number plates again, and the only other bit on this car that's going to need some sort of attention in the near future is this tiny little blister here just by the windscreen rubber, but that's the only part on the scuttle. The rest of it all the way across the scuttle on the passenger side again is absolutely perfect. You can see how nice and flat the paint is. As I said, it hasn't been restored, this car. It's just been well looked after. Still has the original screen insert trim, which is still nice and bright. They tend to go yellow after a few years. So on the inside we still have the original dealer tax disc where this car was supplied from. It's got all the original upholstery, which is finished in brown with brown carpets, brown dashboard, etc. The seats are in fantastic condition. Most of the upholstery you can see is absolutely lovely, with the exception of a couple of small marks on the driver's seat. The roof lining isn't ripped. It's still got the original parcel shelf. See all of the lovely door panels with this nice pattern on in sort of a beige and a brown, which really contrasts the crystal green metallic beautifully. I can't stress how lovely this car is, especially for an unrestored one. All the lower valance is all solid. Lower rear quarter panels are all solid. It's had a new exhaust system. It's just had 2 new rear wheel bearings and differential bearings all done. In the boot we have the original boot mat on an L model. This is like a rubbery material, and again, let's get hold of this so we can show you underneath. Inside of the boot floor is all lovely and solid and original. Hasn't been mucked around with it. In fact, it's still got the original Michelin MXT tyre on the spare. Original jack and wheel brace. Again, you can see across the rear scuttle panel at the bottoms, there's no corrosion all the way along the bottom. It gets an awful lot of attention, this car, when you're out and about. So obviously it was one of those cars that was everywhere, and now sadly they have all pretty much disappeared. There are a few left, but it's certainly not something you see every day. So when I bought this car, it needed valve stem oil seals doing, so I've done that, which entailed taking the cylinder head off. So it's had new head gasket, cam belt, oil filter, antifreeze, thermostat. It's had an electronic ignition, new leads, new plugs. It's also had a Weber carburetor upgrade, and it wasn't the usual 3236 DGAV carb. I went for the carburetor that was fitted on the mid 1980s Sierra 1600 Pintos. So it's a twin Weber carb with an electronic choke, which cost nigh on £400. So mechanically there really isn't anything to worry about. The engine is one of the sweetest sounding Pintos you'll hear. It's had a new alternator, it's had new bushes, brake line. Again, you can hear just how lovely that Pinto is. It is as sweet as a nut, the engine. It drives absolutely spot on. I trust it to go anywhere. As I say, it's just had all new bearings on the back and on the diff. There is a very small whine coming from the crown wheel, but it's barely noticeable, so nothing to stress over at this moment in time. You can see And here how well it idles, there's no popping or spitting out the back. As I say, it's had a new exhaust system as well. And the only other thing to mention, which will be in the listing, is there was a small chip that's turned into a very small crack on the windscreen corner, which was there when I got the car. But windscreens are available for these, so it isn't the end of the world, and they're not expensive. Still on all the original wheels. Again, the sills on this side have never been welded. All of the sill lips are absolutely spot on. It's got all the original jacking points that are solid on the inside. So there we go. You go a long way really to find a Mark V that is unrestored in such original condition. It just needs a few very small little cosmetic bits doing to it, but nothing drastic. We'll show you under the bonnet quickly. Under the bonnet is unrestored again, not been touched. Other than obviously the mechanical work that was done with the stem seals. And with the carburettor upgrade, it's also had the Sierra air filter housing fitted to enable that Weber carburettor upgrade, and that was simply down to the fact that those Ford VV carbs that this car came with from the factory are not very reliable. They can play up, they're not very fuel efficient. So with this new carb on it, it now runs sweet as a nut. So she's ready to go. She's tax and MOT exempt. I am still currently using this car on pretty much on a daily basis. If it wasn't reliable, I wouldn't use it. Say on the inside, we've got all the original dash top, steering wheel, etc. Nothing's been messed around with in here. The seats are beautifully plump and comfortable. They haven't got any sagging. So there we go. Any questions? You've got the details on the listing. Ping me a message. Thank you.